fun to be following Carbon 3D and Fit 3D because they brought you into the future, and I'm going to bring you back to an industry that's unfortunately still stuck in the past, and Healthcrowd's trying to bring them into the future. So hello everyone, my name is Bing, founder and CEO of Healthcrowd. It's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you to SAMCEDA for this privilege. For the longest time, most of our customers were actually based in the Northeast, and being a healthcare company, all the action happens in DC. So it's great to be able to share what we're doing here locally in our hometown, or in this case, home county. We are in San Mateo. We're based out of the Bayshore Corporate Commons complex right off 101. So just some company fast facts. So what is Healthcrowd? We are a healthcare communications platform, and we work with large healthcare organizations like the Aetnas, Anthems of the World, to help them better reach, engage, and activate their members using persuasive communications. Our claim to fame, and I know this sounds weird, in this day and age, but we do power the largest healthcare-related text messaging programs in the country. In fact, the biggest text messaging program by any health plan in this country was actually powered by us, and this was as late as 2015. From 2014 to 2015, we saw a 3x year-over-year revenue growth, and this year we're expecting to touch over 10 million lives. We do have a national footprint today, and we're funded by the fine folks over at Startup Capital Ventures based out of Menlo Park, Healthy Ventures based out of San Francisco, and some great angel groups. So our vision is to transform healthcare communications from the very mundane, routine activity that it is today into a strategic lever for our customers. Our customers include health plans, integrated delivery networks, providers, pharmacy benefit managers, as well as pharmacies. And our mission is to touch 100 million lives by the end of 2020. So I think that this is likely a sort of cross-industry audience here. So I thought it'd be sort of helpful to step back to look at what does the larger healthcare ecosystem actually look like. And so what we've done here is we've mapped out the different players in this system. And as you all know, healthcare is a complex business in this country. And if we start at the very top, we've got everyone from government payers, or what they call Medicaid, Medicare health plans, to self-insured employers, to providers, hospitals, clinics, integrated delivery networks, pharmacies, PBMs, labs, and those are the guys in the dark gray. If you look at the light gray boxes, that is a thriving ecosystem of vendors that serve all of these guys in the gray. Now there's one thing that all of them have in common, and that is every healthcare company needs to communicate with somebody at some point in time, be it a patient, member, consumer, visitor, user, or a prospect. And that's where Healthcrowd comes in. So we're looking at a really tremendous market opportunity. In order to fully appreciate what we do, I kind of need you to get into Marty McFly's time machine and sort of go back to the 20th century. No offense to Sequoia, Kaiser, I know you guys are here. But healthcare is really still stuck in the 20th century. It's funny, I read this survey last year. It said that today, millennials consider it intrusive if you call them without texting them first. Yeah, I'm sure many of us can identify with that. And then it's sort of interesting because we work a lot with health insurers, and you'll find it surprising that there are two primary modes of communication with their members, so people like you and me today. It's still snail mail and a call center, so real people actually making these calls. We know what happens to that snail mail, swish, and we know what happens to those call center calls. So enter Healthcrowd. So what we do for these organizations is we sort of unify all of the different digital modalities, so text messaging, email, nanosites, voice calls, under one umbrella, and we use them in concert based on what resonates best with you, the member. We're also unifying the different departments so that for the very first time, they have visibility into every single digital member touch point. Here are some of the programs that we power in order to sort of make this a little less abstract. So it's everything from medication adherence to condition-specific programs like asthma, diabetes, and even things like member welcome, benefit communications, and things like that. We are an end-to-end solution, so what that means is we don't just power the technology, we also create all of the content that goes along with all of these programs. And it's sort of interesting. Some of you may be sitting here thinking, okay, so what's the secret sauce here? Well, we are at a public forum, so I couldn't possibly be disclosing our deepest and darkest secrets. But I will tell you this. A lot of what has made our programs work is the application of ed tech to health tech. So I spent most of my background prior to healthcare in the advertising industry. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I got really, really interested in this whole area called patient engagement. And didn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that behavior change was the name of the game. So I kind of said to myself, aren't advertisers masters of behavior change and persuasion? I don't know about some of you ladies, but every time I'm surfing the web, there's this pair of shoes that follows me from page to page. And what's even sadder is that oftentimes I buy that pair of shoes because the advertisers have it down. There are tried and tested techniques to motivate consumers to take action. And essentially, that's a lot of what we've done here. We're taking tried and tested techniques from the online advertising industry, applying it over to healthcare communications, but this time around to motivate a healthy action. One like taking your meds, going for your screening, things like that. And the message on the top left is actually one of our winningest, if there was ever such a word, messages of all time. And it just simply says, hey, you, it's me, your heart. Give me my meds, then text back yes. And don't ask me why it's such a popular message. And last but not least of all, we're really grateful and thankful to be making a difference. These are all real results, not made up, from programs that we've powered over the last several years. They're all statistically significant with confidence levels over 99%. And we're also very proud to be working a lot with Medicaid beneficiaries, so underserved populations. In fact, Medicaid has been our bread and butter from the get-go, so a lot of women and children. And on the bottom here, I have one of our favorite patient testimonials of all time. This was a gentleman who was part of a cardiac rehab program that we were powering. So it was a text message intervention only. And he lives in rural Iowa. And we sent out a survey asking this group, on a scale of 1 to 10, how useful are the text messages we're sending you in helping you reach your health goals? And he said, 10 or even more. These texts are driving me to keep myself fit and help me take my meds and educate me. They're now part of my life. And on that warm and fuzzy note, I'd like to thank SAMCEDA again and appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Thank you.